Hey YouTube, it's Flots45. I had a quick thing on the Jaguar XE. Mine's a 2019. I'm sorry it looks totally like dog shit. I just drove from Vancouver, Washington to Seattle, Washington in the rain. But I wanted to say something real quick. I have 70,000 miles on this car, and I should have dumped it at 60,000 because I'm starting to experience all kinds of problems. And Jaguar is terrible with their, when you go into the dealership, they are absolute crap. I'll start off with one thing. I think my warranty was up at 65,000. I was 80 miles over my warranty, so I had to replace this wonderful thing right here. That is a steering gear. Okay, with tax and all said and done, it was close to $4,000. It's $3,800 and some dollars just for the part. Jaguar wants about $2,000 to take it out and put the new one in. So anyway, I did that almost 3 months ago, and now I'm getting everything's been great. And now when I'm basically stationary and I turn the wheel to the left or the right just a little bit, I get this creaking sound, which could be a ball joint or a tie rod. Or it could be they gave me a bad steering gear. And if so, they want me to give them $4,000 more or $3,800 and some dollars more to buy a brand new one, and then I have to return this one. And then they'll give me my money back. So that in total would be, $8,000. So I go in Monday to see, actually, I tried to get up underneath there. When I get the wheels off the ground, there's no noise whatsoever. So I'm kind of thinking it's not the steering gear. I'm kind of thinking it's a tie rod. But I'm taking it into one of my buddies. He does some of these European type cars. He does a lot of Jaguars. So he's just going to flat out tell me, all right, here, dude, here's your problem. So anyway, and number two, with these Jaguars, and it's not just the XE, it's all of them. If anyone has a problem with their alarm going off, well, I am one of them. It started a couple of months ago. Every time I locked the car, the alarm would go off, usually within 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Now it goes off 20 minutes later. And I go into my dash. I have a base model, by the way. I don't have the cool one where you can turn the damn alarm off each time you get in or each time you exit the car. So I called Jaguar again, and I told him what the problem was. And the guy told me, well, you'll have to come in and we'll have to replace every one of the sensors in your door, your hood, and your trunk. And I was like, okay, that seems like a touch much. My alarm keeps telling me it's the driver's side back door. And when I lock it and the alarm's going off, that means the door didn't lock, but the door is locked. So I don't know exactly what to do on that one. But anyway, here's what I did, guys. And there isn't a whole lot of this on YouTube about this either. So here is what I have found that fixed this problem without replacing all of your sensors in your doors, which, if you take it into Jaguar, they are going to charge you so much to do this. But again, I've had the car 4 years now. She's got 70,000 miles on her. So I use this contact cleaner. Got it off Amazon or eBay. I can't remember. I bought this and I sprayed it in all 4 door latches, the trunk latch, and the hood. And I did, like in the hood, there's 2 of them in the hood, but I did the ones down on the bottom, and then I sprayed this crap all over all of the door. When you close the door and you open the door, your thing's going to be out here. So basically, I sprayed it in there on the door. You don't need to spray that. And also check those to make sure none of those are loose. My passenger door one was actually loose. But anyway, so I sprayed the shit out of those for almost 3 days. I went through 3 of these bottles. I got home from work. I opened everything up. I sprayed it down really good. And then before I went to bed, I did the same thing. And of course, the alarm's still going off. But I wanted to make sure to get all the debris, everything out of them. And then I started for 2 days doing the same thing, squirting WD to loosen, basically what's happening is you're shutting, especially it's probably your trunk or your hood, more than likely. Those are the culprits. But unless one of your springs in there are broke, those contacts are still good. They're just not, they get froze up. I noticed this happened here in Seattle when it got super cold out. And that's when I was locking the door. And as I'm walking into work, which is only about a 2-minute walk, the alarm started going off. But I realized that, these things, the driver door, the trunk, and the hood, I guess, but mostly the driver door. I don't have a lot of passengers in my car, but the driver door and the trunk, I open a lot. So I really concentrated on those two, even though the alarm inside, when you get on your steering wheel, you can see last alarm. It keeps telling me that it's the driver's side rear door, which I think it's total bullshit. I think there was an alarm that went off and I need to unhook my battery and then it would probably reset itself. But anyway, if you're experiencing these alarm problems, you can take it to Jaguar and pay them a shit ton of money and they'll replace all your sensors. But that may not fix it because it's not the sensor that's bad. It's the lock or the latch itself. It's full of, debris, or it's just freaking, they're very sensitive. And Jaguar knows this problem exists and they don't fix it. So I'm happy I bought this car. But I should have dumped it a year ago and got rid of it because I'm experiencing all kinds of crap in it now. The steering gear cost me a small fortune and now I have to take it back in because I'm getting some clunky noise. And, I jacked it up and tried to find out if it's a tie rod or the ball joint. I can't pinpoint actually where it's coming from because it's such a loud crack once you get it up in there. And it seems like it's coming from the steering gear. It seems like it's coming from the ball joint. It seems like it's coming from the tie rod. So anyway, I'm going to have my buddy just double check and hopefully it is not that steering gear. I would say, these cars are pretty badass, but either get an extended warranty on them or dump them before your warranty's up. I don't think these cars are built very well. I hate to say it, but like I said, this was my dream car. I've always wanted a Jaguar, but man, I'm telling you, be careful after you go over 65,000 miles on these things. And, I'm having all kinds of electrical issues too. It's the driver's side rear blinker keeps blowing out on me. Sometimes I get in the car and I start it and, a lot of times my reverse camera doesn't work. And it's because they wired it all through the trunk. So every time you open and close your trunk, you're actually destroying that wiring harness that is connected to your backup camera. What else have I had? I'm just constantly getting weird things. It's like I get in the car and I start it, and then sometimes my stereo, the whole screen, it doesn't come on for 5 minutes and then it does. Sometimes my phone won't connect. What else have I had? I've had all kinds of, you're very limited to where you can put your phone charger. It's inside here. You only have 2 of them, I guess. What is it? Yeah, there's 1, 2. So, wow, thanks, Jaguar. But sometimes those don't work. I have one of those magnetic chargers, and every time I start the car, I get a blue ring around it. And so many times I get in there, and it's like the damn thing doesn't work. Or I'll be driving down the road listening to, jamming out to, Volbeat or Metallica, Megadeth, whatever, man. And all of a sudden someone calls me. I answer the phone, and I talk to him for a minute, and I hang up, and then my stereo won't work no more. It's like it's froze in a phone mode, and I don't know, man. I don't know. like I said, I love the car, but you know, you're going to keep these things past 60,000 miles. You know, just make sure you save some money. You know, I mean, unless you're a badass mechanic. Oh, and that's the other thing too. Working on these cars is an absolute nightmare. Here's a funny thing. I have actually, that's not my actual seat. It's a seat cover. Because my white looking seats got all cracked and damaged right there. So I bought some car seats that'll fit a Jaguar. Okay. These are nice. They're actually really super new. The wrinkles are sure in them. But here's the funny thing. You see that headrest? You can't get it off. So if I lift the headrest up, you can see a gap underneath here because there's zippers that you need to remove the headrest to do everything. That headrest will not come off. So you can get it off. You can take the back of the seat, which this one, it's a base model. It's all fabric. You don't end up having to cut the fabric. But you also have to remember these seats have airbags in them. So if you're gonna cut or get up into there and start unhooking stuff, you better unplug your battery because you can actually detonate or set off your airbags, and that would not be good. But what car company makes a headrest that you cannot get off? I mean, it's every time I try to do something to this car, there's got to be a special tool ordered. There has to be a special this, a special that, you know, and it's just like, come on, man, you guys, fuck. Like I said, it's been a great car. The easiest brakes I've ever done, my front brakes, oh my God, they were just a dream to do. I got to do the back brakes soon, but I'm actually going to trade this thing in probably in July, and I will not be purchasing another Jaguar. I always wanted it, I had it, and I am not ever getting another one because anything goes wrong with them. You take it to the dealership, they literally bend you over put sandpaper and just hammer the fuck out of you. So, excuse my mouth, but it's true, man. I have never been treated so shitty at a dealership until I went into Jaguar. You know, they're like, oh, well, you know, and that was the steering gear part of it. They were like, oh, well, we need, I think it was almost $11,000 what they found they wanted to replace. And some of it was crap. I had just replaced the air filter and the cabin filter. And the cabin filter is extremely hard to get to. You have to take out the entire glove box. And there's like a T8 or a T7 screw in there. And there's like 9 million of them in there. It took me a half a day to do it. So, but they wanted like $500 just to replace the filters. And I was like, you guys suck. But anyway, I bored you guys to death long enough. So if you're getting your alarms, try this stuff, guys. Use the contact cleaner a couple of days. Spray it 2 times a day all over all your contacts. And then use some WD-40 a couple of times a day. And when you get in your car, unlock it and lock it, unlock it. Just keep hitting that switch to lock and unlock the car, and eventually after like 10 times the car stops. It won't let you do it no more. But my alarm situation has been solved. I'm not getting it no more. But yeah, Monday I get to take it in and see if I got a tire out or a ball joint, or they sent me a $4,000 bad steering gear, which I'm really hoping they didn't. If they did, I'm just going to surrender the car to the bank because I'll be done. I'm like, I'm not doing this no more with the car, man. I just want a reliable car to get me from A to B, and this thing only has 70,000 miles, and I know that's not a lot. It's more than I like, but it's not that much, and for it to be breaking down this bad, and I've been doing all the maintenance, and actually sometimes I take it in to have certain things done to it, but I won't take it to the Jaguar dealership no more. Worst customer service I've ever dealt with in my life. The guy at Jaguar told me about the locking thing with the alarm going off. He said, well, just don't lock your car. That's actually what he said to me. He goes, well, And I said, how fast can you replace those? He goes, well, we're at least 2 months out. So it'll be 2 months before we can even look at your car. And I called 2 different locations. And I asked him how much, and he said he wasn't sure. He'd have to get back to me on that, which they should know that shit. They should have that stuff in stock. But so I'd have to wait 2 months. And I said, well, what do I do? I said, is there any way I can lock the car without the alarm? And he started telling me, because I have the base model, that I can pull this off. You put the key part in there and pull that off, and I can lock it with the little key blade. And that won't set the alarm. But he told me, he goes, well, just don't lock your car then. I go, okay. You haven't watched the news at all where there's all these carjackings everywhere and people are stealing everybody's car? I'm like, okay, I'll just cruise to Walmart and leave my fucking Jaguar sitting in the parking lot unlocked. Yeah, fuck him. So, again, the Jaguar dudes, I don't know what's fucking wrong with them, but those guys suck so bad. So I'm taking it to a specialist for these kind of cars that doesn't work for Jaguar no more. So anyway, hope if you're having an alarm problem, I hope this helps you. If you're trying to put seat covers on, I hope that helps you. You cannot get your headrest off without tearing the back or cutting, literally you have to get the whole, if you have mine, I have upholstery going down the back. I think the sport model, or what is it? There's the other 2. I think they might have a plastic shell on the back, and you can actually pull the bottom part of it out and then push down, and that whole thing will come out. But again, unhook your battery, and there's some wires up in there that you have to shove a screwdriver in and bend them out and push up on the headrest at the same time. But if you forget to unhook your battery, you can set your airbags off. So, and I guess that's about it. Hopefully, if you have one of these and you're at 70,000 miles, you're not experiencing the pain that I am. If you are, drop me, or send me a message and tell me about some of the problems you're having with yours. I was floored when I found out Jaguar knows about the alarm issue, and they've known about it for years. It's not just on the XC, it's all the Jaguars have this same damn alarm problem, and they just don't fix it. They just don't care. So it's too bad, man. Beautiful car, really fun to drive, but made piss poor. And it's made to where if you're a guy and you like, or a gal, you like to work on your own cars, they make it damn near impossible to do, because you have to have special this, special that, and you actually have to have knowledge on how to fucking find shit and even get to it. I mean, and I know all cars have that kind of stuff, but this fucking thing is a whole new ball game, man. I have never struggled so hard doing anything, but the front brakes were easy to do. And I'm going to redo the back brakes. I know you do the back brakes, you got to put it in maintenance mode, but anyway, all right, YouTube. I hope this helps somebody, man. Later.